What is going on, Smash Brothers fans? My name is Blaze, and today I wanted to talk to you about Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Switch. We know that Smash Brothers is going to be coming out for the Nintendo Switch, and it'll be a port from the Wii U version. But there's a few things that I think need to happen for this game in order to justify me spending $60 on it. I mean, I'm going to spend the 60 on it. I'm going to buy it. But whether or not I feel like I overpaid for it is what the discussion is today. And there's a few things that have to happen in order for me to justify that. So what we need to happen with Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch, there's a few things. The first thing, and I got kind of a picture right here. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go ahead and play a couple of videos here. So you get to watch me play my villager. Now, keep in mind, I'm not the best villager in the whole game. But while I'm talking, I want to give you something to look at. So I'll be playing this. This is a video of me playing villager. I win a lot, but it's mainly because people just kill themselves, and you'll see that throughout the course of this video. But anyway, so there's a few things that have to happen. Number one, the first thing I think has to happen is that no excuses. Every character that's ever been in Smash Brothers before needs to be back. Yes, that does include Young Link. Yes, that does include Pichu. The only complication that they're going to have with that is that Solid Snake, there's been a lot of changes with Konami, and the relationship with Nintendo and Konami may not be quite as good as it used to be. So that may not happen, and I'm willing to bet that if they do allow Snake to be in the game, it's going to be old Snake from Metal Gear 5, and that's not what I want. I want David Hayter playing Snake from Metal Gear 1. Or even 2. I'll even take Big Boss from Metal Gear 3. So it is what it is, or Metal Gear Solid 3, I should say. It is what it is. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I mean, he's one of my favorite characters of all time. So I'd love to have him come back, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But every other character needs to come back. Pichu, I know that was kind of a joke character, but they could make him a legitimate fighter. I think, for me, making Pichu play more like the classic N64 Pikachu would make my day. Even if he doesn't have all the same moves that Pikachu had, as long as he played exactly like Pikachu, even if he didn't have a side B, that's fine. Because in N64 they didn't have side Bs. I'd be okay with that. And also he can't hurt himself in order to be more of a viable option. I know he was meant as a joke character to put someone at a disadvantage, so that when you were playing somebody who was really, really good, they could play a disadvantaged character and actually have a fair match. I get that. But if you're going to bring him back, make him a viable option. And then we talk about Young Link. I know we already have, Toon Link and regular Link, so we don't really need another Link, but I think that if you made him to be more like the Majora's Mask Link from Hyrule Warriors, I think that would be a much better way to put him in the game. Now, that's as far as the old characters go. I mean, Ice Climbers should definitely be back, because I think that there's no excuse for them not to be in the game. They were left out because of limitations on the 3DS, but this ain't your mama's Smash Brothers game anymore. This is for the Switch, right? So put him back in the game. Who cares, right? Let's make it hot. The other thing, and I showed off, Ivysaur and Squirtle. I mean, those could be a little bit more viable options. We already have Charizard as a playable character, so that could definitely happen. So there's really no reason to not put them in there. On the title picture, there's also 3 other characters that are on there that I think would make great additions to the game. Tetra. We already have a ton of Zelda characters. Tetra, I think, would be a cool character to add into the game. We could make her more of like a pirate type, agile, kind of just fun character to play. So I think having Tetra in the game would be great. I'm not sure how well that would go over, but I think it would be good. As far as the other one, I put Ukulele on there because we all know that Yooka-Laylee is coming to the Switch. And I think it's going to be one of the coolest games to come out this year. I really can't wait for it. And it's made by the same guys who made Banjo-Kazooie. So I'm super stoked to see Yooka-Laylee as a game, and I would love to see Yooka-Laylee in Smash Brothers. And it wouldn't be hard to acquire that license since that that company is pretty new. I think that would be a great addition to Smash. And then, but I thought about Banjo-Kazooie also. I know that's going to be a little bit harder to put into the game, mainly because it's a Microsoft license, and I think that is kind of scary. I mean, I don't think Nintendo's going to go up to Microsoft and ask them to have that in the game. It's not likely. Even though the creator of Microsoft, or one of the CEOs of Microsoft, actually said that he would like to have Banjo-Kazooie in the game, it's probably not going to happen. So, I don't think Nintendo has the gumption to do that. But then the other character that's on there is Dixie Kong. I've heard a bunch of rumors in the past that Dixie Kong was planned to be a character and that there's remnants of her in the data for Smash Brothers, and that there's a lot of rumors about her being a downloadable character. So that could still very well happen. Of course, the characters that you could have in this game are literally limitless. There's no character in the gaming world that you could look at and say, oh, that wouldn't work. You could make it work. We look at Ryu from Street Fighter that's in there, and Cloud. I'm so glad Cloud's in the game. That was the surprise of the century, I think. And then, Bayonetta made it. I'm not psyched about Bayonetta, but I don't think she's a bad addition to the game necessarily. But anyway, that's enough talk about characters, except for one more thing. There's one thing we don't need for the new Smash, and if you're a Fire Emblem fan, I apologize, but we have too many Fire Emblem characters in the game. So let's try to stay away from the Fire Emblem franchise, if possible. I think that while it's probably a great series and a great series of games, there are more Fire Emblem characters in this game than any other franchise in the game. So let's not do that. I would appreciate that. I mean, there's so many other places you can pull characters from. Metroid, for example, is only represented by 2 characters, and literally it's the same character with different play styles. So let's try to get something more unique and creative, if possible. But that's one thing we don't need. We don't need Fire Emblem characters. I'm going to say it right now. We do not need any more Fire Emblem characters. Thank you. If you disagree, that's fine. Maybe there are some characters. Chrom might be a good idea. I don't know. But it is up to the developer inevitably. I'd rather not see one. But moving on from there, I think that in order to justify the $60, what else do we need? Well, for me, I think that this is a good opportunity to have more costumes in the game. Costumes are something that really only, I think, 2 characters have, maybe 3. Maybe 4, actually, and I'm thinking about it. But, Wario's a good example. Wario has his main costume, and then he has a secondary costume, which would be a great way to kind of differentiate characters on screen is costumes. And, a lot of characters have been in multiple games, and they can have different costumes or different looks, or whatever the case is. So I think costumes would be a great idea. I think every character should have an alternate costume if they don't already have one. And if they do already have one, let's do a second one. Why not, right? But aside from that, I think that, moving on from there, I think that the next thing that I think would really make the game pop is kind of stealing a page out of the Mario Maker handbook. The stage creator, it's not very user-friendly. You have to be extremely creative and extremely resourceful in order to get anything really good out of the stage creator. And I think that's kind of bad. I think there definitely should be an ease of use with the stage creator. There definitely should be a stage creator that actually is easy to use, fun to use, and where you could literally make anything that you wanted to. Like right now, for example, there's an Animal Crossing stage with platforms that float by, and these platforms come and go. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. But if you wanted to make that stage, you can't. You can't make that stage because those platforms go all the way off the side of the screen and then they come back shortly after. But you can't make a platform that does that. I like to use the Majora's Mask stage as an example too, is that stage from the Melee, there was a Majora's Mask stage in Melee that had a turtle that came up from the bottom of the screen, stuck around for a little bit, and then went back down. You literally can't make that platform show up in the same exact way that it did in Majora's Mask. So I understand that you can't have every single stage in every single game, but you can give the player all the tools they need to make whatever stage they want. That would be really cool. And then put it online for people to download and play, and whatever the case is. But I think that there's an opportunity there for people to make whatever stage they want. Of course, there needs to be new stages. The stage selections that we have is huge, massive stage selection. But there's always opportunity for more stages, and if you're going to add new characters like let's say Yooka-Laylee or Splatoon or something like that, there definitely needs to be a stage based on those games. So new stages are probably a definite must. But I would also say new game modes. Smash Run is a great game mode. I really like Smash Run from the 3DS version, but what's that? Smash Party, whatever that was, whatever that game mode was from the Wii U version. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's escaping my mind, but that sucked. I did not like playing it, and at the end of the day, it really was just a matter of who. If you were playing this with people who weren't as good as you at Smash, you were always going to win. Even if you only ended up with one character by the end of the game, you were always going to win because your friends just aren't that good. So, I don't know. I think that that just needs to go away completely, and something else needs to take its place. Whether it's Smash Run from the 3DS or something new entirely, it definitely needs to go away. So, I think that it definitely has to justify the $60, and of course it has to include all the DLC. That would be silly if it didn't. But I think one of the coolest things about the Nintendo Switch, and something that's going to be probably utilized the most when it comes to Smash Brothers, and even like Ultra Street Fighter 2, which was announced pretty recently for the Switch as well, is that the tablet controller comes out and you can play it anywhere, and you can plug it into the wall if you need power or an alternate power source. But I think for competitions like EVO, I think you're going to see a lot of people like hanging out in the hallway playing Smash Brothers, playing Street Fighter, waiting for their next match, which is a huge opportunity for Smash Brothers to really get involved in this. You could play it with hopefully up to 8 players linking your Switch devices together. That would be awesome too. Playing online, that could be enhanced a little bit. I think there's a lot of lag when it comes to certain ways of play when you play 4 players typically. But I think that there's potential for that to be improved. But I think a lot of people are going to play Smash Brothers and Street Fighter, and if there's a Pokken tournament, which I'd imagine there's probably going to be a Pokken tournament coming out for the Switch as well. They're trying to put a lot into Pokken tournament and make that a big thing too. So, I think that there's got to be a lot of stuff that justifies me spending the $60 on it. And I'll tell you this much, as far as Mario Kart goes, I love Mario Kart and I'm going to get the game anyway. But really, there's only 4 new characters, and there's a new battle mode, and there's maybe a couple of extra tracks. I guess maybe another cup or 2. But at the end of the day, there's just not much extra content for that game. And I think they allow you to have multiple items now, so that's kind of cool. But I don't know if it's justified spending $60 on the Switch version of Mario Kart. But if you're going to do Smash Brothers, you got to do it right. So let's get... My request for Nintendo is just to make sure that you put more into the game than just a couple extra characters and a couple extra stages, that the game gets totally overhauled. That's my request. Overhaul the game completely and make it something that's going to be worthwhile for me to purchase. Even though I'm going to get it anyway, I don't want to feel like I overpaid for it, is all I'm saying. So I think, I think we had, was it $5 a character, something like that, and we've gotten like 6, 7 downloadable characters. I mean, I guess that's not, $60 is not necessarily out of the question if they had, if there were 7 new characters, that would be super cool. Like, even if they were characters from the, from older games, that's fine. That sounds awesome. But still, it has to be worth it to me. That's all I want. That's all I want from the new Smash. So I'm going to cut the video right here. I'm going to sign out for this video. I want to thank you for watching. If you did happen to stick around and watch me play as Villager a little bit there, I think you saw me win because people just killed themselves a couple times. That happens to me all the time. I did get owned a couple times, a few times actually. That was that, not Marth. That last person I was just fighting, I can't remember his name. Having a real hard time thinking of names today, but yeah, he just destroyed me too. And the Peach earlier destroyed me as well. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I do videos every Monday through Friday on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. My channel is primarily about Pokemon, but I like to branch out and talk about other subjects with Nintendo as well. And today was just about Smash Brothers and what I want to see from the series in the future. But put in the comments below what you think and how you feel about Smash Brothers for the Switch and what needs to happen in order to justify you spending $60 on the new Smash Brothers. What has to happen? But I do want to end the video here. I want to thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you on the flippity flop.